All right, injury update. We have Farley maybe limited this week in practice. He had an ankle sprain. We'll kind of see how this week goes with him. Chuma had an issue with his leg, that calf, same issue that he had going into the game. Same thing. We'll see kind of how this week goes with him. Frankie Luvu had a groin. That's probably one of the injuries that was worse than anybody else as far as keeping him out. Alex Lewis, multiple issues with his shoulder. I would say right now he's week to week. We'll kind of see how this progresses as we enter this week and see what his status is going to be. Sam's going to keep progressing in his rehab. Beckton will keep continuing his rehab, and hopefully we can build off of Friday from him doing individual. And then just an update on Mims. We're going to keep increasing his reps, just kind of seeing, how fast we can kind of get him involved in this. And he took a ton of reps on scout team last week, which, like I said before, it was really his first action and team kind of activities since he was at Baylor. So we'll kind of see how he is as we get through this week, see if we can get him in some actual real team periods, just not scout team. So, hopefully we can open up that door or at least make it available. So with that, any questions?
Connor from The Athletic, your line is active. Hey, Adam, I was wondering if you happen to have talked to Christopher Johnson this morning or when you guys got back from Miami, and if you could just kind of provide just a general idea of if you did have that conversation, what it was like.
No, I talked to him after the game, and then I went to talk to you guys, and those guys, they had to get out of there. So usually I talk to him later today.
Rich from ESPN, your line is active. I'm sorry, your line is active.
Yeah, Adam, I'd just like to ask a question and then a follow-up after I ask it, if you don't mind. What was the thought process on the Steve McClendon trade?
Yeah, it was something that evolved, over the weekend. Obviously we talked with him. They ended up getting it finalized. It was an opportunity for him to go compete, at a place that's, challenging to get in the playoffs. And, I know it wasn't an ideal situation for him as far as, leaving this group. He's put so much into this team, and he was a great leader for us. And, it does give our young guys more opportunities, but it was just kind of one of those things where, both sides thought it was the best thing to do.
And the follow-up to that would be, a guy like Foley would probably get more playing time, but the perception is that, it's a fire sale, and the Jets are just getting rid of guys and they're thinking towards next year. Is that what's happening?
That's not what this was. To me, was a different deal. I just think it was something that came up, and then after, talking to Steve and, those guys kind of working things out with Tampa, we just felt like this was the right thing to do.
Brian from the Post, your line is active.
I'm just wondering, are you seeing any signs of progress, when you watch these games each week?
I thought, we started out rough on defense, but, when you go look at it as a whole, the way that really after that third touchdown, how our guys played, that's something we definitely need to build off of. Going in that game, we talked about not letting 11, 18, and 88 really beat us and force them to drive the length of the field and try to create turnovers. I felt like, seeing that Devontae didn't really, 3 for 35, and 18 having 2 of 18. I know he had the touchdown, but it was long of 15. Gesicki had 0 catches. We were 1 of 9 on third down, and really that last one, the last conversion came on that last series. 7 3-and-outs. I felt like that's something definitely our defense needs to build off of. Offensively, it's just we're getting one-on-one matchups. I mean, everybody's playing man against us, and yesterday we got a ton of pick stunts, and we have to clean those things up. I mean, we're getting the similar looks. We have to win our one-on-one matchups, and when we get those opportunities, those are big plays to be had, and they can flip the field position. They can create explosive plays, and give our more scoring opportunities. And keep us out of third down, because when you're getting this much one, all it takes is one catch and run, and you got a huge play.
JP from Forbes, your line is active.
Adam, sticking with the defense, with the cornerbacks yesterday, I'm just curious as to what was the thinking with the starting lineup. I know Bless was coming off the injury, but was there any reason why he didn't start? And it seems Quincy Wilson is out of the mix. Is there any reason why he was a healthy scratch yesterday?
Yeah, that's just kind of how our inactives went with Quincy. Take a step back and look at it as, special teams involvement as well. Just as far as I guess I don't get hung up too much in the starting lineup. We got so many different packages and different groupings that we go with. That it's all about how much playing time guys get. We were kind of mixing those guys in there, and I didn't have a problem with what we were trying to do yesterday.
Mark from the Post, your line is active.
Yeah, Adam, I have 2 questions. One to follow. One is regarding just kind of a Sam thing, which we've been asking you the last couple of weeks. Do you have a feel for what you saw last week in his progress? How much closer he may be? Obviously, you don't have a practice yet this week, and you'll have to see on Wednesday. But what's any gut feeling at this early period?
I don't have a great answer for you on that one. I think it's just more of, when the trainers say, hey, we're, today we get a chance to throw, or we're going these distances. That's really when it's gonna pick up for us as far as how he's feeling when he's throwing, kind of judging where we're at there, making sure that we're all on the same page, him and, our doctors and trainers. So we're progressing in the right direction. It's just all about kind of how he's feeling when we kind of, keep progressing in those stages.
And just as a follow, obviously we know, and they've all chronicled the injury issues and whatnot, but I just wonder how much of this struggle you place on injuries, how much do you place on just not having enough manpower, and how much on coaching?
Yeah, I think you try to look at all those things. Injuries you probably bypass more than anything, because as a coaching staff, you're trying to those things are going to happen. You're going to lose certain guys, whether it's long term or short term, and you have to adjust, and you got to do what you need to do schematically to make the guys that you have available to you make it work, do the right things. And I think that's what we're always challenging ourselves in doing, is try to find the right formula for that game that week with the guys that are available. There's always so much room for improvement everywhere, and I know as a coaching staff, that's why these guys are up here. The amount of hours are up here trying to figure out, how do we get things fixed? What do we have to do different? What do we need to change? I don't think anybody's afraid to make adjustments and do things that they've never done before, or try something different. It's always just trying to find a way to win that week.
from Newsday. Your line is active.
Yeah, Adam, I was just wondering, I'm sure, you're trying to figure out what's going to jolt this team. You talked about it last week. Do you feel like it's the right time to just say, let somebody else call the plays and see if that shakes anything up?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, like every week we're always we're looking for what's the right thing to do. I don't know if I got a couple other things I got to really kind of sort through offensively before, we make any kind of decisions whatsoever on stuff like that. We got to get some things adjusted and figure out who we got available for this week. So, I mean, that's like step 10 right now, and we're on step 2.
Andy, from the record, your line is active.
Yeah, Adam, you mentioned yesterday that the offensive line, didn't play well and didn't give Flacco a lot of time, and obviously with those injuries, it's going to be a concern going forward. How much of a concern is it, and how does that factor in the decision to bring Sam back and the timing of that?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what our lineup looks like this week. If we need to make adjustments protection-wise, I think yesterday, one of the things that was just disappointing was we went a lot of max protection. A lot of 7-man protections. And had too much leakage. Going through the film with those guys this morning, really it's just we got to be on our details. We got to be on the same page. We got to make sure that we're not, going outside of the box trying to do something that's extreme, to help spring or make a play. And that's the key to those guys up front is 5 guys working together, or 6 or 7, however we end up having it with the tight end and the running back. But it's not just an O-line thing. When we do the protection, everybody's involved. We talk about it all the time as far as it's the quarterback, it's the wideouts, it's the running backs, it's the tight ends. Whether guys need to get open faster, or we need to be quicker with our progression, or hang in there, or make sure that we're blocking the right guy and fitting up on things right with the running back position. It's the whole gamut. We all have to do better in that aspect. We got to do a better job coaching it. We got to do a better job executing it.
Connor, from The Athletic, your line is active. Adam, you kind of made reference again that everything's on the table. You guys are considering all kinds of changes. You're looking to shake things up to try to provide a jolt. But when we watch the games, I mean, it kind of looks like it's either the same problems happening over and over again, or the same problems plus new problems. So what exactly are you guys changing, and why have these changes not made much of a difference in the results of games?
Yeah, I mean, you start with, when you evaluate, the previous game, you start with practice, adjustments that need to be made there. Then you're working through scheme week in and week out to see what's the right fit, what adjustments you have to make there, players, coaching responsibility. You go through the whole checklist. When you're at this point, it's, when you say everything's on the table, you're trying to find a way to put one good one together where all 3 phases are playing complementary football. We've had moments, but we haven't had enough. We haven't had enough to put ourselves in position to win games. And that's why I think we just got to keep working to find the solution that we need to put ourselves in position in the fourth quarter to either go win it or stop the other team from winning it.
Last question, Brian from the Post. Your line is active.
Adam, you got asked the question a lot this summer and even the beginning of the year about weapons, right? That was a big topic. And you would acknowledge that maybe you guys didn't have household names at wide receiver, but it seemed like you had confidence that your tight end group was good, your running back group was going to be good catching the ball. That hasn't really materialized. Why has that not come to fruition like you had hoped?
Yeah, I mean, for whatever reason, we haven't been able to get Chris going. I think Ryan's, done some good things when we've given him opportunities. Yesterday, I think, P. Ryan had a couple chances. We kind of got some pressure on that one, and Joe had to throw it off his back foot, so it was a little low. I think he was looking to run before, because Baker was kind of close to him. I think he was looking to kind of catch that and just see if he could make him miss, and, didn't finish the play. We just got to keep trying to find ways to get these guys the ball in space and see if we can get them rolling a little bit. We haven't been able to get anything going consistently. The wideouts, I feel like obviously Crowder's done what he's done. Yesterday, he's seeing double, triple teams now. Hopefully we can get BP going. We had some opportunities with him yesterday. I think there's more there, and we just got to keep developing Jeff and bring him along. Same thing with Vincent.